We are going to continue with the same chapter, Outcomes of Democracy, and the topic is Reduction of Economic Inequalities and Poverty. This is the economic outcome of democracy. The previous economic outcome, which we have discussed in the same chapter, was economic development, economic growth and development. Okay, so this is the similar topic only, another outcome of another economic outcome of democracy. And you get the type of question from this topic that how democracies have achieved this outcome, या फिर how are the democracies able to reduce the economic inequalities and poverty, or what is the performance of democracy in the economic field. You can get such questions, so you can write the same arguments there. First, more than economic development, it is reasonable to expect democracies to reduce economic disparities. Now, the previous outcome of democracy, as it was economic development, and there we compared democracy with the other forms of government like dictatorships, and we saw that dictatorships are doing slightly better than democracies, although the difference is very negligible. That it is not so much like democracy that dictatorships are doing much better. There is nothing like that. Difference is negligible, but yes, they are doing better than democracy. And then we supported democracy, saying that we cannot give up the idea of democracy just on the basis of economic development, because it has many other positive outcomes, right? Now, when we come to this question of economic disparities and poverty, then it is very fair to expect that democracies should reduce these economic disparities, at least the amount of national income, whatever we have. Okay, so it should be equally distributed. Equally distributed doesn't mean like everyone should have equal property, like, and all, but yes, equal opportunities should be given, poverty should reduce, right? Democracies are generally based on the idea of political equality, where all the citizens are given right to vote, right to contest elections. Means in political arena, all everyone is equal. But the economic sphere, growing economic inequalities are seen in democracies. And how do we see this? What are the, you can say, examples you can give here? That a small number of ultra rich people, they enjoy a very highly disproportionate share of the income of the country. This is the whenever we talk about any of the society, ancient times, medieval period, even today, number of rich people always remains very less, and most of the people in the country, they are either middle class or the poor sections of society. So as a result, national income of the country is increasing, because the ultra rich, they have money to invest, because you must have heard we need money to make money. So those who are rich already, they have money, they have resources to invest and to make more money out of it. So the national income will increase this way. But the poor are not getting the benefit of this development. The poor, they are the poor only, or they are becoming more poor, because they have nothing, they have very little to depend upon. Okay, they find difficult even to meet their basic needs like clothing, house, education, even health facilities. In actual life, democracy doesn't appear to be very successful in reducing economic inequalities. So you can give these examples there. And also you can discuss about the political leaders, like the political parties. They will not like to lose the votes of large section of poor people in the constituencies. During the time of elections, they are very enthusiastic regarding addressing the problems of poor people. But after getting elected, okay, however, the democratically elected governments, they don't appear to be very keen to address the question of the poverty as you would expect them to, as at the time of elections, as they promise. But once they win the elections, they don't like to even talk on poverty, on such issues. The situation is much worse than in the countries like Bangladesh, our neighbor country only, where more than 50% of people, they are living in poverty. And there are many countries in the world which are even dependent for food on rich countries. You must include these two examples in your answer when you write on growing economic inequalities and poverty. Okay, and the common question which is asked from this topic, that are the democracies based on political and economic equalities? Explain. You can write this the same points which we just discussed. Parallel to political process of bringing individuals into the political arena, we find growing economic inequalities. Then they don't appear to be successful in reducing economic inequalities. Then that same example of ultra rich in the bottom of the society, and poor people find it difficult to meet the basic needs. Then how democracies have been able to reduce poverty, elaborate. So you will say they don't appear to be successful in reducing poverty. Okay. Then situation is worse in even poor countries which are dependent for even food. And you give example of Bangladesh. Okay. So you can give such examples. So in the next video we will be discussing about dignity and freedom of citizens. Fine. Yes, if you have any doubts related to this topic or any other, you can just type in the comment section below. Thank you so much. Bye. Stay safe.